This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. There are some construction workers outside renovating our back porch, so sorry, I guess. I think I'm a pretty powerful artist. I can work with almost anything, but sometimes I like a challenge. So yesterday, Hannah and I went to the hardware store and got a bunch of random stuff for me to try and make art out of. There were a couple basic things I figured I was gonna need. I needed something to paint on, so we decided to start with the lumber area. I was gonna go with this big round piece of wood because I thought that might be interesting.
I don't know. I was gonna vote, but now I don't know. It just depends
Vote in the comments. But I found a discount canvas with some boring stock office art. I might do this instead of the circle. It's real canvas.
I mean, you've got a good start already. Looks like stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna cover it. Completely cover it. One thing that I knew the hardware store would have that I could use as an art supply would be paint. Even though it would be spray paint and house paint, I figured I could probably make it work. They've got this really vivid yellow. It's like gray. Okay, so what are these colors that are almost exactly the same? Do you have any preferences? The darker one?
I think so. It's like a nice coffee. I like that one too.
3 colors.
Nice work.
Oh boy. Alright.
Red.
I also got a couple cans of spray paint because I figured I could use those one way or another. I found this really cool fluorescent pink magenta color. This is fluorescent. Should we go hard?
Gotta go hard.
Okay, I'm getting a plain black and a plain white just because those are going to be paints that are very useful in this.
The brush selection naturally was not the best, but I figured out how to make it work. This one, doors and cabinets.
This video is gonna be painting my house.
Garbage! I don't know if they should just like get
¿Por qué no los dos?
money. Spongy guys.
Spongy boys. Wow. All right. It's a lot.
I need something that's like really small so that I can actually be able to make lines.
Oh, there they are.
Ideal for craft projects. That's what this essentially is, right?
Why? Why do you want to do this? Ugh.
We're on a slope.
Okay, I'm done filming.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a canvas with my random paints and stuff, and we're going to start here.
So the first thing I had to do when I got this stuff home was to try and protect the frame around the canvas without having to take the whole thing apart. So I used some blue painter's tape that I bought, and then I also stuffed the corners with tissue paper so that no paint could leak down into that area between them, because there's a solid gap between the canvas and the frame, which might look good in the end. I'm not sure. I used the coffee brown color as the base coat to cover the entire thing and completely remove the golden tree forest thing from existence. Surprisingly, because I wasn't expecting it, but not surprisingly because it's house paint, it covered the image really easily. I did want to have a little bit of a plan for this image, so I went ahead and did kind of a brief sketch on my iPad, just using the colors that I bought from the hardware store. It was mainly just to figure out where I wanted to block out all of the colors, but also to help me plan perspective, because I'm terrible at drawing backgrounds, and this canvas was huge. Against my better judgment, I decided to give the background kind of a high horizon line, and I think it kind of worked, but it could have been better. After I sketched out some basic foundation lines, I used the blue tape to cover up some areas that weren't the front of the shelves, and then I took the whole thing outside and I spray painted it very lightly with white spray paint, just to kind of help define those edges. Probably should have done the same thing with the back of the shelves, that was an afterthought. And then, as I predicted, the horizon line just looked kind of wrong, so I had to extend the shelves even further down. So I just taped off the bottom and then spray painted the whole thing with white again. From there, I added a little bit of the fluorescent paint to an area on the floor where I planned to put kind of like a glowing crystal. It ended up giving it kind of like a particle effect, which also made it look even more magical. From there, I moved on to the lightest color that I had, which was this really off gray white, because I knew that would end up being the foundation of all of the objects in this entire image. After the white, I moved on to the red because I figured that would be secondary color for everything. And then we had to go to California. We had tickets for the Scribble Showdown that a bunch of YouTube animators and people were putting on, so we packed up all of the art supplies and I figured I would just finish it in California. I wanted her to be a very stylistic cartoon monster creature. I just wanted this to be a bit more surreal and weird. I think the main thing I've learned in this is that hardware stores don't sell art supplies. They sell house paint and home repair. Working with house paint had its pros and cons. For one thing, it covers everything completely. There is like no transparency. With acrylic, which is probably my favorite type of paint, you can mix it with water and get some transparency, which can be very useful. That's not a quality people want in their house paint, I guess. It was also really shiny. There were points where I couldn't tell what I was doing because it was so shiny. Also, all of the paintbrushes were terrible. Just gonna throw that out there. It was a fun challenge and I do like the painting I ended up with. There's a lot of construction happening right above my head right now, so let's cut to a different echo for the ad read portion of this video. Okay, so we're in LA right now. Huzzah!
Hey, you know what I need? I need a website, Echo.
You do, actually.
Using Squarespace?
Thank you for that smooth introduction, Hannah.
I'm gonna get out of frame again.
Alright, that's
Bye.
fine. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can create beautiful websites with nothing to install, patch, or update ever. They also have a ton of really helpful templates that you can use to pretty much make your website look and feel however you want. It can be very useful if you're not a professional website designer. Squarespace is so easy to operate, even a cat could do it. I know this because Crystal left her computer open and her cat changed all of our website stuff. So if you'd like to see all the changes that Dusk and totally not Crystal made, you can go to whoisbestboy.com. Yeah! If your pets would like to make their own websites, you can go to squarespace.com and hook them up with a free trial. And then when you realize how quick and easy it is to set up a Squarespace website, you can get 10% off your first purchase by going to squarespace.com/Echo Gillette. Hannah's here in the video.
Nope, she's not.
I think that's everything. Let's just end the video here.
Bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye. Okay, that's everything. I gotta go. Thank you so much for tuning into this weird video, and hopefully I will see you later. Have a great day. You get 100 awesome points. Goodbye. Do you have to drill on the ceiling right now?